this video, we're going to use some integer variables to move one geometric shape from the upper right corner of the screen to the lower left corner and another from the bottom of the screen to the top. So I'm going to start by making integer variables for the x and y location, that first shape that's moving diagonally from top right to bottom left. So I'm going to send int x1, int y1. These are location of first shape. I need to initialize those variables now, and so I want x1, I want the x location to be all the way to the right of the screen, so I'm going to say x1 equals 500. That's as right as we can get with a width of 500. For the y variable, though, I want it to be at the top of the screen, so I'm going to set it equal to 0. That's just, all the way at the top. Then I'm going to use those variables to create my first shapes. So I'm going to say ellipse x1, comma y1 for those locations, and then I'm going to give it a fixed size, 50 by 50. If I play my program now, I've got just, you can see that sort of bottom quarter of my ellipse right there. So the first thing I wanted to do is to move to the left. So I'm going to say x1 equals x1 minus, it could be any value, let's say 2. So every time draw loops through, it's going to subtract 2 from that starting value of x, so it's going to go, first draw that ellipse at 500, comma 0, and then the next time it's going to draw at 498, comma 0, 496, comma 0, and so on and so forth. So now it's just moving to the right. Or rather left. Oops, left. And then I'm going to do the same thing, except I'm going to increase that y1 value. So as it moves less, it's going to move down. And there it goes. So that's the first shape. For the second shape, I'm going to make a new variable. I could theoretically use x1, which is already decreasing, but it's not a great idea to use a variable that incorporates the letter x as a y variable because that's confusing. Also, that means that the moving leftness, the x location, this ellipse is forever tied to the y location of the second shape if I reuse that x variable. And while that works right now, it's not a good habit to get in because I don't know I'd always want those two shapes connected in that way. So I'll just make int y2 as that's the location of second shape, just the y location. We don't need an x location as a variable for that one. We'll just pick a static location. So I'm going to say ellipse. Oops, try again. And I said bottom middle, so I'm going to say 250. That's in the middle. Y2, 50 by 50. Oh, and I don't want to make sure I need to initialize y2. y2 equals, and I can say that one's 500 also at the bottom of the screen. Or if I wanted to start all the way on screen, since it has a radius of 25, I could say 475, and so it's at the bottom but all the way on screen. And then here I can say y2 equals y2 minus, I don't know, we'll make this one move a little slower, minus 1. So that middle shape will move up.